Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live. I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. Big shout out to Maria of BBN, whose response blew my mind. I'm proud that we actually have people who are knowledgeable. They don't just go to Big Brother to just go there and play and do what everybody else. There are people who actually have small sense inside their head. Big shout out to her, and I want to address this today. You see, and I'm going to use this to drive home several points. First things first, Tastebuds is here. I just got off a call with another captain. Before that, I was on another call with another captain. In total, I have spoken to 25 captains, not pilots, captain. I intentionally did not speak to pilots. I spoke to captains to discuss this whole phone on top of phone in the cockpit, phone, passengers' phones affecting planes and all that. I talked all about it. I've read NASA papers on this. I've read the whole write-up on Boeing.com where Boeing said it can affect. There's no science behind it. Let me break it down to you guys. There's no argument I've not had today. I was discussing with a pilot who said that what if you get a false lock? A false lock is establishing a false position on the localizer. I said phone cannot cause false lock. The false lock is as a result of faulty ground equipment, not from your plane. No be plane they give false localizer reading. Now your localizer for ground 90. So do you realize that everybody around the vicinity of the plane, if the plane is on ground or about to take off, are using the same cell site, the same network mast? So it makes no sense. Oh yes, there were some concerns raised about. One of the pilots raised a concern about what you call MLS, that is microwave landing systems. There's no airport in Nigeria that has MLS. Let me just break your heart first. None. Now, I don't think any Nigerian pilot has MLS training. I don't know how to land MLS. I know RNAV, I know ILS, I know visual approach. I don't know MLS. And if we don't have it in Nigeria, I don't know why it is a concern. I'm not sure how many airports even have it across the world. And even so, I'm not sure what the interference of mobile phones can be in such a way that your phone will affect MLS. Now, let me tell you personal experience. I always like dealing with facts, not emotions. 10 years ago, I entered the cockpit for the first time. I'm a simulator pilot. I fly aeroplane in my simulator. A simulator gives you a real life experience of what flying actually entails. I've never actually flown in the cockpit of a real plane, but I've sat in many flights in the cockpit and I've seen them do all these things I know how to do in my head. The first time I sat in a plane cockpit was about 10 years ago, and the first thing I noticed was, guys, why are your phones on? The two pilots had their phones on. One text message came in as we were taking off. This is how it went. You know, text message chime on Apple. Here's the procedure for taking off. You approach your V1. When you get your V1 is the speed beyond which the plane must take off. Once you get to V1, you can't abort the landing anymore. Once you hear the call out for V1, the next call out is rotate. Rotate means that is the speed at which the plane can now take off. So when you hear rotate, the pilot pulls the yoke to lift the nose wheel off the ground and begin the process of taking the plane from the ground into the air. If it's an Airbus, you see the pilot tilt the joystick or whatever that little thing they have. I'm not an Airbus pilot. I have very limited knowledge of Airbus planes, but I know this is joystick that they use instead of yoke. And I prefer yoke because yoke gives you proper feedback. The joystick is just one little thing you'll be doing your hand with like this. It worries me. It's too much fly by wire for me. So, but when you hear V1, the next call out, the V1 speed for a 737 is usually at about one. What do I do my V1 at normally? About 132, about 136. I rotate, depending on so many parameters: number of packs, weight of the plane, fuel load, whatever. So this is how it went. V1 rotate. As the pilot was rotating the plane, text message came in. Before they now called positive rate of, the next call out is positive rate of climb, meaning the plane is actually taking off and climbing. How do you know that? 3 steps. 1, you look at your altimeter needle. Your altimeter needle is supposed to go up. That means you are climbing. You look out, you are out of the window, you are supposed to be moving away from the ground, and your vertical speed is supposed to be increasing, as well as your altitude. You see your vertical speed increasing, your altitude increasing, and then the plane is moving away from the ground. Then you can now lift your gear. The next call is gear up. So the gear in between rotate and positive rate of climb. Phone ring. Nobody said they tell me I did there. That's the day I stopped to switch off phone. I said the people when they fly this aeroplane, they're not off their phone. What's it gonna concern you? They off phone. I've flown for the last 10 years. I've flown. Is it Dubai where I go? Let me tell you what they do. If I enter aeroplane, I go put my earpiece, my AirPod for my ear. I go sit down near window. Phone in my pocket. I go they talk. Till plane take off, reach 11,000 feet until the network cut me. And they talk, they go, nothing. I know say nothing if it happen. How? I no go school. So we all just like to lie to ourselves. And let me tell you something. My biggest annoyance is this. It's not even, okay, a pilot raised a point, which we all, the remaining 23 of us disagreed with. Imagine having 300 packs in a flight and everybody's on their phone at the same time. That can cause interference. It cannot cause any interference with any. Is it ILS or RNAV it wants to affect? It is impossible. Now, here's the logic. Just like when you are driving your car, you're not supposed to be on the phone because you lose concentration. While you are talking, somebody just tell you, say, they just slap Mama Risi. What did Mama Risi do? What did I begin do? You don't momentarily log out of that surrounding where you did. Now, when you are taking off and landing, those are the 2 times when there's the highest likelihood of an accident occurring. So they don't want you to be distracted, especially if you are sitting near an emergency exit. You shouldn't be on your phone, not because your phone is going to affect the plane, but because they need you to concentrate. Nigerians don't even if as they switch off that phone, the next thing they do is sleep. How many of you listen to the briefing that the cabin crew gives you about emergency exits, about seat belts, about what is it called? Loss of cabin pressure with oxygen mask descending? How many of you listen to all those briefings? Nothing concern you. You won't be saying you're afraid, say make that aeroplane no fall. Then you will come off your phone. Nothing concern phone. The worst part of this thing, Nadi, Pere them, aeroplane class prefects. Those ones now they tire me. Switch off your phone now. Can't you wait to make that call? Please be switching off your phone. You now see passengers wey no get brain. Could they tell you, say, make you switch off your phone? If that text is very important, send it. The plane will not crash. If that call is they will tell you to switch it on, switch it off because of regulations. They like to have people controlled to a large extent. It doesn't mean anything will happen. So when you see somebody leaving his phone on because he wants to make a call or something, what you can do is hurry up with that call. Not that switch off that phone. What's wrong with you? You don't like to listen. Listen to what? Ideas that they had 60 years ago and they are still forcing down your throat now because they like the way it controls you. I have said, let them come and show me any scientific research that says aeroplane calls in aeroplane can cause crash. No argument where I never get today. I had an argument with a pilot who said that you can okay, I've discussed that. You can have a false lock. I know what a false lock is and how dangerous it can be. Especially if there's poor, if you have good visibility. There was a day I had a false lock in my localizer. I was coming to 18R Lagos. I was at, I think about 2,000 or 1,800 feet. I was fully configured except my landing flaps. I was at 150 knots, 155 knots on flaps 15, and I was going to my landing flaps. I just looked at the, what was that screen called? I just saw it was on 180. I said, but this airport, because I had the landing plate of the airport is 183. That's the heading. So if the airport is 183 and you're on 180, you'll be like this. So you land in the bush near the airport. I don't look and say, no, this is wrong. I did not panic. What I just did was because I was already on the glide, I just made sure I used my vertical speed to get 700 feet per minute descent rate, which is what the glide slope was giving me. I now use my heading select to tune 183, enter the heading select. As it moved to 183, the plane now aligned to that heading. I followed that for like 100 feet or descended 100 feet. After that, I just went straight off the autopilot and did the landing manually. But now, imagine there was poor visibility, Hamatan. You are coming down like that, you have a false lock, you can land in the bush. In Abuja, you can hit Zuma Rock. I agree. But here's what I want to tell you. Aeroplane cannot cause false lock. Now, ground equipment will cause them. Now, here is my biggest point of all. And this is where Nigerians are so hypocritical. You see, how many air crashes have been attributed to mobile phone use in the last 10 years? The answer is 0. As in ZERO, 0. How many deaths have mobile phones on airplanes caused in the last 10 years? The answer is 0. None. But how many deaths have been attributed to COVID-19 in the last 2 years? The answer is 5 million globally. Now I want to ask you, the same energy that you are using to tell people to switch off their phone, why are you not using it to tell people to wear their mask? Do you realize, someone said I'm just being biased, I'm telling you I'm a simulator pilot, I can tell you this, go and bring your captain, and we argue this thing till tomorrow. We don't argue since morning, since 9 a.m. Now I don't do this argument, and nobody win. Let's think. 5 million people. Please help me report this comment. Please. Let's get this joker off Instagram. Please. Someone said, why am I attacking? I'm not attacking Pere. I'm just saying, you see, it's not Pere's fault. It's what we've been ingrained with. This is what we're taught. Me, the tone that Pere uses, listen to the tone. I have a problem with the tone. He didn't come from an advisory point of view. He came from a judgmental point of view. Let me read this comment to you. You will tell me if this is advice for something that is not. He said, "Dear Nigerians, when the flight crew says turn off all your mobile phones, especially during critical phases of taking off and landing, turn it off. These texts and calls can wait. Safety first. Happy Friday." Think about it. When the cabin crew says turn it off, those calls can wait. What if you have an emergency on ground? Let me tell you something. Let me give you an idea. I was taking off. I met a colleague on the flight. And then the colleague said, look, don't worry, we'll go to the office tomorrow. We just found on the thing and started talking. He said, no, Daddy Freeze, we need to go this, that. Once we land in Abuja, this way we're going, blah, blah. An office has sent car to pick me. So as we're taxing, there was now no signal on the runway. I was looking for signal to call the driver and say, don't start coming to the airport. Imagine how unfair it would be for me to allow somebody's child to come all the way. If it was you that were the driver and you were supposed to spend time on a Sunday with your family, and then you hear that Daddy Freeze is coming to Abuja and you have to go and pick the Daddy Freeze, then the Daddy Freeze decides not to roll with you, will you not be upset? So I picked up my phone. I know that nothing can come out of it. I picked up my phone and I was calling the guy. And one Pere class captain was on the phone, was there telling me to get off the phone. For what? For that quick call that I'm going to quickly tell somebody, look, don't bother coming to the airport. I'm going to find my way. I'm following somebody home and I'll be at the office tomorrow morning. That's all I needed to say. If you see the way this guy fought me, you people are so disobedient. You people don't listen. You people are this. That's who people are spoiling Nigeria. Have you bothered to find out if I am knowledgeable about this? Do you know how that poor guy would have suffered if I couldn't pass that message? Now, I'm not saying sit on the phone and be shouting. You see, some people don't also know how to talk on the phone. You'll be talking on the phone and the whole aeroplane would know, say they carry passenger. Where they're not supposed to carry. We're supposed they molue. So that sometimes is very, very annoying. Nobody's insulting Pere. Let me remove all of these clowns from my life. Face server, you are daft. And I go tell you free of charge. You don't get sense. Did Pere come out with the rule? He's magnifying a rule that really is of no consequence. The only consequence of that rule is let everybody be calm on the plane and pay attention. Let me tell you, why did Pere not say people should wear their masks? COVID-19 has killed 5 million people in the last 2 years. 5 million people. Do you realize that if you obeyed the COVID-19 protocols, the way you obey aeroplane, don't use your phone, do you know that 5 million people will not have died? If globally everybody took, that's my problem, that's my real problem with this thing, selective reasoning. You are afraid of aeroplane. I'm not afraid of aeroplane. I know what happens in a plane. I know what the pilot is doing at every moment in time. If it's a 737, if the pilot is tired, he can tell me to come and fly it. I will fly you to your destination without any problem, unless there is a major weather emergency. Say normal clear weather, I will take you to your landing. That will land you in your airport. So I'm not afraid of aviation. So I would not switch off my phone because the plane is going to crash and I'll start shouting at people around me. And do you know how rude some air hostesses get? They will talk to you anyhow. Meanwhile, how many of these same people that are agitating, take instruction, this person that came here and said, did Pere write the rule? How many people did you mandate to wear masks inside COVID-19? When it came to COVID-19, what did people say? Someone said, on my watch, you won't see no problem, like him be this. 40 president. No need to fear. So here's a very important principle, and I worry about this because it's selective. Look at Dr. Gauzier here. He's a doctor. Do you know that the COVID-19 pandemic would not have been as bad as it was if people would listen to rules? You are not afraid of COVID-19. Do you know why? Because you are of a certain age that it doesn't affect you. You are maybe 15, 20, 15 all the way down to 35. The likelihood that you'd die of COVID is very minimal. So you still go to nightclubs. I know guys who had COVID and went to share it in nightclub. They said they cannot sit at home. They went. Because of that nightclub they went to, somebody's grandmother died. Let me block this Favor Smith. As her mama no get sense, now so she said no get. I have blocked her that no person will no get sense. So do you realize that some of you, because you broke the COVID-19 protocol, do you realize that some of you actually killed people? You don't know? Each time you went out to a supermarket or a nightclub and you were not protecting other people from you or yourself from other people, do you know you could have picked up? Let me block another idiot. Do you know? But you see, it's the selective morality that tires me out with Nigerians. They said switch off your phone, switch off your phone. They said wear mask. Did you wear? I know one girl that COVID nearly killed in my office. She had COVID twice. She's just recovering from it. Wear mask, she'll not wear. Collect vaccine, she'll not collect. If they're talking about vaccine, she'll be the first to go and fight them there. But these same people will enter aeroplane and everybody switch off your phone. They'll begin to panic. Hey, switch off your phone, switch off your phone. Why? Is it because aeroplane is flying in the air and you're afraid that once you're in the air, anything can happen? It's policy. Did Nigeria not have policy of COVID-19? When they gave lockdown, why didn't you stay at home? You are more likely to die of COVID-19 than of an air crash. Person when they enter motor for your whole life transportation for your life, na bus and okada. They fight people with the entire aeroplane. They tell us, say, obey law. Did you obey sit at home law when they gave you? Did you obey the law? There are more dangerous matters in Nigeria. That guy that the building fell, the 21 story, did he obey the instructions? How many buildings have fallen and killed people in Nigeria in the last year? You'll be amazed how many. One fell in Ikoyi, the other one fell in Lekki within 2 weeks. Meanwhile, it's an aeroplane that nobody has died from, that people will be carrying on your head and be why? Now, let me tell you something. Why I had to come out against Pere is only a titan can diffuse a titan. Pere is a titan. He is big. He has a huge followership. As soon as he said it, it became law. I'm not saying you should break laws, but don't say that call can wait. Sometimes that call cannot wait. It is wise to concentrate during taking off and landing. Yes, but at the same time, some people have emergencies that they need to deal with. Imagine I have to take off. I'm taking off to go to London for 7 hours. And then somebody needs urgent money. Daddy Freeze, please, I'm at the hospital. That's happened to me before. One person that we were supposed to pay to the hospital direct could not get the hospital account. Finally got the hospital account as I was about to take off. And the case was emergency. So that's how that person will have died, because I could not quickly transfer before the plane took off. Think about all these things. Sometimes those calls can't wait. If it's an important call, I will not tell you not to make it, because an air hostess is telling you what they are reading now. Meanwhile, the pilot that is flying the plane, his phone is on. Where is the instrument that the plane can affect? Is it not inside the cockpit? The ILS is there. The RNAV is there. The radio communications are all there. So if it's going to affect in a pilot phone, I ain't going to affect instruments. Not be your phone where you did for economy class for back of plane near toilet. Make we tell ourselves true. I know they like make anything will be like manipulation. And these things need to be addressed. So when I came out, everybody was insulting me from beginning to end. Daddy, shut up, shut up, shut up. Until Maria came and said the same thing. Maria came and said the very same thing I said. Someone said, Zara Special, what I know about it is a distraction. Absolutely, I agree. Phones are distracting. And I would advise you to switch off your phone when the briefing is going on, unless it's an emergency. Don't make that call. But don't shout at somebody who's trying to deal with a family problem. Some people's family problems don't end. I know. Some people, from the day they get on the plane till the plane lands where it's going, if you allow them, they'll be talking and be fighting with their family. But that quick call, please, 1 minute. You see somebody like that on the plane saying 1 minute. Hey, hostess, let him make that 1 minute call. Just come out. Aye. You don't need to shout for him. You don't need to tell us him be idiot. That's my anger. Big ups to Maria. Maria actually went to training. She did basic pilot training. So she understands. So that's just my anger over this. And you see, it's not Pere, it's the people that will hear Pere and they'll be on a flight today. Just what? Person go on a phone, they will begin shout for him. The person will begin to beg them, say, sorry. That's simple. I need to make an important call. It's a 1-minute call. The air hostess supposed to look away. The air hostess supposed to come tell and say, okay, just do it. Be discreet about it. I would like that. No, you must switch off the most annoying one. Plane don't touch down. Main gear don't day ground. The plane, flare, they ride the flare to go and drop the nose gear in front, and they are telling you don't switch on your phone till we get to where we are parking. Why? Are you using ILS on the ground? Abi, you don't know road, you don't know where the what's they call them, the runway go end, you don't know where you are going to turn off the runway. Are you using VOR on the ground? Do you need to be on the localizer on the ground that people should not switch off their phone? Let me tell you, you know why? They will tell you not to switch off your phone because you know as they switch off your phone, the next thing everywhere will start to be rowdy. So they want you to be calm till they get to the parking place. Do you understand? Because you don't know how to be on your phone discreetly. Nigerians don't know how to be on their phone discreetly. Once they're on their phone, so traffic control want to say something, they will not be able to say because Mama Ajesha is speaking to Baba Ajebu on the phone. So the reason why they sometimes force down these rules and regulation on you is because you yourself, you are not a good person. If you know how to talk like this on the phone. Yeah, hello. All right then. Okay. All right. Yeah, send the driver. Nobody go fight you. But when you carry phone, how far? Me boy, kill so. That's when, and if 15 people on the plane, all of them are saying me boy, kill so, me boy, kill so. Me, the whole plane will be chaotic. Look at this one that doesn't have sense. Why am I against Pere? I'm not against anybody. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what the real truth is. Just, if you ever have the opportunity of entering inside a cockpit and flying with pilots, ask them to show you their phone. If it is off your own. If it is on, leave your own. So that is it. Simple. It's not fight. My problem with Nigeria is not the rules. My problem is enforcing the rules. I remember when they said pregnant women should not be on Okada. I literally saw a policeman drag a pregnant woman off Okada. Like literally. So it's not about the pregnant woman. How you can tell a Nigerian that does not want to think that something is going to happen? You just overreact. Nobody is against Pere. Pere made a valid point, but the way he said that phone call can wait. If you had just removed that, said guys, if you had just ended it with this, it would not have been anybody's business. If you had just said, dear Nigerians, when the flight crew says turn off your mobile phones, especially during the critical phases of landing and takeoff, turn it off. It would be a good idea to turn it off. It would be a good idea, a great idea to listen. Let me just block this person when Papa they sell rope where they take tie cow. I just block them straight. No need for anything. So that's the thing. No need to fight. No need for anything. Let's all. You see, in Nigeria, when Daddy Free is, you see, and that's now I realize why they killed Jesus. He came and told them the truth. They begin fight him. Maria came and said the truth. Hey, what is so hard in obeying? Imagine people were telling Maria, what is so hard in obeying rules and regulation? These same people, have they worn masks for once in their life? You find it easy to propagate switching off your phone on a plane. Meanwhile, you know they grieve mask. If they tell you to wear mask, you'll begin fight. Is it not hypocrisy? Mask and phone on plane, which one has killed people more? Let me tell you, the last time I went to, was it Canada? I was on the phone throughout, from London to Canada. I was on the phone throughout. As soon as the phone took off, they gave us Wi-Fi. I was chatting with taste buds, doing my work on the phone. It cost about 60 euro, if I remember clearly. So, Someone say, don't be saying Papa they sell cow. Now the rope where they take tie cow, now the Papa they sell. Inside go slow. You can't hear, can't they talk anyhow. So that's just the thing. Big ups to Pere. Love you, bro. I have nothing against you, even though this one sounded like you're doing a class prefect inside aeroplane, but I still love you. Keep it real. And big shout out to Maria. I was so impressed by her knowledge. And guys, let's have these discussions from time to time. We don't need to always be, let them just give us one law, brag, go and pay your tithes. If you don't pay tithe, you not enter heaven. All of you now begin to run, afraid of the heaven, where the geo waiter say make you pay tithe. No sure saying go enter, or in Peking go enter, or in Papa enter. So let's just be careful about all these things. Thank you so much, guys. And I want to come back and talk about the biggest man in Nigeria today. I'm going to switch off the lives and come right back to talk about the biggest man in Nigeria today, King David. Orin Davidi. Oh, not just David. This is David Adeleke, and what he has done. The entire sum of money goes to charity. Not just the entire sum, but with an additional 50 million naira. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about this, and I'm going to do just that in a moment. When I come back, make sure you are part of this live. Davido has done it again. Stick around. Someone said, can you board a plane outside Nigeria? I know they switch off since for 10 years now, never off plane. Whether na Dubai, whether na London, the best I can do, say I respect you, be say I put my phone for silent, put that for my pocket. You won't come put your hand inside my pocket, check whether the phone day off. You dey talk like say you no get sense. And no be your fault. Your power born you no get. Where you want to see your own from? Until walara àkọlé ìrandíran yín, ìwọ nìkan wá fẹ́ ní. Ó lè lọ́pọlọ kò sí lára àkọlé fún ìrandíran yín. Please, I'm coming back in 1 minute. We need to talk about Davido. We'll be back.